Welcome to the tour of QPoint's Request Management feature. Using the GDX Request Management feature, you can issue a request for information to your suppliers and indicate what information is required. You can invite any of your suppliers that are not yet members of Green Data Exchange. They can register for a free account. You can track the status of all your requests in one place and track any request until you have satisfactory delivery from your supplier for the request that you've made. You can also get notified when a request for information is completed by your supplier. Finally, you can track supplier performance and generate reports based upon the responses you've received. For suppliers, the request management feature allows one to stay on top of requests from customers and respond with a commitment or feedback. If one of your suppliers is not yet a member of GDX, you can invite them to register for a free GDX account. GDX consumers are those who will be using supplier-provided data to determine their own compliance. Suppliers author their own compliance data and provide it to the GDX consumer. This tour will show you how the request management feature works from both a GDX consumer and supplier point of view. As a consumer issuing a request, simply go to the Parts tab. This view shows a list of your company parts with internal part number and each manufacturing source. Select the parts you wish to request information for. This can be a completely new part where you don't yet have any information, or an update, such as a request for updated information. Each part will be included in the request for specific data for each supplier. After adding parts to a request, you are prompted by a link to review the request. By clicking this prompt, you are taken to the Request tab to review your draft request. As a draft, you may modify the request before it is sent to your supplier. From here, you can confirm the supplier, set a due date, enter a description for the request, and specify the type of information you're requesting. For example, an updated REACH COC. Click Done with Declarations to review the parts requested. And now you are ready to send your request by clicking Send Request. Also on the Requests tab, you can review your sent requests, as well as the progress and completion of these requests. Here you can see the request details. This shows your request history, what compliance documents have been received, and allows you to update the supplier with comments. You can follow the link to the right of the page to view any of the compliance documents you have received from the supplier. After your request is completed, your supplier is notified of the request. We will show the notifications from the supplier view in a few moments. The next portion of this tour will show you how the request management feature works from the supplier's perspective, how your supplier is notified of your request, and how it gets completed and delivered to your GDX account. Once you submit the request, each supplier receives a notification, both an email and indication on the dashboard of their GDX account. The email shows the request information, such as the requester and the parts, and provides a link to the request item in GDX. When suppliers sign into GDX, they are taken directly to the request from the email. The supplier can also review other outstanding requests from this tab. The supplier can organize these requests, respond with feedback, and commitment dates to their customers. Most importantly, the supplier can provide the requested compliance data direct to the customer. Here I am going to answer the request from the first part of this tour. Since I am ready to fulfill this request, I would click Yes, I am ready to enter the data on this part. If I am not ready to give the data, Clicking Not Yet gives me the opportunity to provide a commitment date and any feedback that I want to provide to my customer. The first action I must take is to identify this part. Since this is a part with existing data in GDX, I will search for it. But if this is a new part, I could create it by clicking New Part. After I identify the part, I may add any compliance data I have available or want to share with the requester. This includes ROS and REACH COCs, full material declaration, and conflict minerals declarations. Since this request is for ROS and REACH, I will indicate my compliance and the version I'm declaring to. I can make any declarations of exemptions taken, SVHC use, and more, and add my COCs as evidence. Lab reports and other supporting evidence documents can be selected as well. Once the evidence documentation is added, I continue to the end of the workflow by saving. I can continue by updating other compliance data of this part, or update my customer about this latest delivery and indicate when they can expect the next piece of compliance data. Once a supplier fulfills a request, that information is made available to you immediately. You will see the request status updated when we go into the consumer login. Based on the declaration we made for ROS in the supplier login, you will see that the request status has updated on the dashboard. It is also updated on the Request tab. Within GDX, you can review the information that has been provided. Or if you are using a GDX integration adapter, any and all updated data will be delivered to your company's system automatically. The request management system contains a history of your supplier responses, giving you performance metrics that you can use for your supplier tracking and ratings. Here I see my feedback from earlier about REACH 151 COC delivery. All GDX users, both suppliers and consumers, have access to a number of help and support resources. This includes an online help manual, tutorial videos, and QPoint support. Thanks for taking the GDX request management tour. If you have any further questions, please contact us either through our website or at the email provided. Thank you.